Today, I'm talking about why I'm bringing you the Recovery Academy. There's so much bad information out there, so much invalidating information, and a lot of stigma out there. And I want to help set the record straight. So I'm sharing a little bit of what we're doing here. You ready? Let's go. Hey y'all, it's Dr. Stephanie Waite with the Recovery Academy, where each week I bring you tips, tricks, tools to kick a little bit recovery ass. You know, every day in my large Facebook group or every day in my individual private practice, I hear stories of people who have been told that their illness isn't legit, that it's not valid. In the eating disorder world particularly, there's a lot of focus on weight, obviously, right? That's the core of an eating disorder. But unfortunately, so many people are being mistreated, misdiagnosed, sent away, or invalidated, being told that they don't have an eating disorder or they're not sick enough because of their weight. We also live in this world where I think there's a lot of pressure to be happy and be okay all of the time. Like, we can't be sad, we can't be anxious. How many times have you just been walking in your own day, your own life? I get in my head a lot, and so I'm in my head, I'm focusing on this, I'm not paying attention to what's going on around me. And people will say, well, why don't you smile? I don't have to fucking smile. I don't want to smile, right? But there's this lot of pressure of get over it, put on your big girl panties, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, just be happy, just think positive, just eat. And the unfortunate thing of all of that is it really makes you, it makes me, it makes others, it makes my clients, it makes the people in my Facebook group feel like their struggle isn't valid. It makes you feel like you're crazy for thinking or feeling or acting the way that you do. You beat yourself up because you're not able to just snap out of it, or you're not able to just be okay. God, I wish it was as easy as just being okay, or just being positive, or being able to just kind of do something to fix and change your situation. So this is why I'm bringing you the Recovery Academy. For over 10 years now, I think it's more like 12 or 15 years, I've lost count at this point, I've helped people recover from eating disorders, body shame, trauma, anxiety, depression, and I see how possible it is to recover. I see that you truly can live a life managing your mental health condition. I see that you can live a life free of eating disorder behaviors. I wish all of this stuff was easy. It certainly is a journey, but it is totally possible. When I was in graduate school, I think I was sent the message that eating disorders were kind of this disease, and it is what it is. And, if people just didn't eat, they weren't going to get any better. I think I had this idea that it was a chronic condition that people never recovered from. Now that I do this work, and now that I've been on my own journey of recovery, I see that 100% full recovery is possible. You can be and feel better. You can recover from anxiety. You can recover from depression. You can learn to manage these symptoms and thoughts and feelings and behaviors and live a really happy, successful, pleasant life. The more I do this work and the more I've learned about treating eating disorders, the stigma around these issues has become more real. I want to provide a space where people can get really accurate, evidence-based, research-based, these are the gold standard tips, tools, and tricks that people need to recover from an eating disorder. Here's what I want you to know, that recovery is 100% possible. you can live a life where you're not thinking about food all the time. You're not thinking about your body all of the time. But here's the problem, and one of the reasons I'm bringing you the Recovery Academy. Treatment can be expensive because there is so much mental health stigma out there, because there's so much stigma around eating disorders. Insurance companies make getting treatment hard sometimes. So a lot of times people can't afford really good quality therapy. They aren't able to afford a specialist to help them with their eating disorder. Or there isn't a specialist accessible. I'm in a really small town, and at this time, I'm the only eating disorder therapist for hundreds of miles in some directions. And for a long time, people were having to drive down to Dallas, which isn't far technically, but if you're having to drive down every week to Dallas, that's gas money, that's time out of your schedule. And driving to Dallas is really, really chaotic for us small town folks. So there's lots of places all over the country where there isn't a specialist even available for someone to see. So although recovery is possible, it's really hard to do it on your own. There's a lot of good information out there, but really, the best way to recover and live that life you want to live is with support. But like I mentioned, support can be expensive or not even available. So the Recovery Academy is a way to try to give you information and education if you're not able to afford or access a specialist to help you on your journey and on your way. I should mention, this isn't a replacement for therapy. I'm not going to diagnose anyone. I'm not going to give you personalized treatment. This is really as a resource. This is a way to educate yourself. I am going to give you some tips, tricks, and tools. But remember, recovery is a journey, and recovery does require a lot of support. Recovery is possible because it's not your body that's the problem. Recovery is possible because it's not food that is the problem. It's your brain that is the problem. Mental health issues, eating disorders are diseases. They are diseases of the brain. Now, sometimes situational things happen and like trauma or, just bad shit happens in life, and we can feel anxious about those things, depressed about those things, but it does affect the way the brain sees yourself. It affects the way your brain sees your body. It affects the way your brain sees food. It affects the way your brain sees other people. Like, these are brain issues. And so it's not that your body is the problem. It's that the way your brain sees your body is the problem. So I hope to give you information here on this channel to help you see how you can reframe, work around, change the way your brain sees yourself and sees your body and sees food. That it's not just about eating something or not eating something or doing this thing. Behavior modification and applying things behaviorally is really important, and it is going to help you, but there's a lot of emotional stuff. There's a lot of mental stuff. And so I want to help us identify those mental and emotional barriers that are keeping you stuck in eating disorder hell, and then helping you understand how to work around those barriers or work around those obstacles so that you can feel better and start kicking some ass in your recovery. There's also a lot of really bad information out there. And so the point of the Recovery Academy is to help you figure out what information you need to tune into and what information you need to tune out. I cannot tell you the number of times that dieting gets brought into eating disorder recovery. And I understand the intent and the motivation behind that, but at the end of the day, that's not very helpful information. So this is the place where I am going to bring you 12 plus years of mental health experience, training, and education. I am bringing you very thorough eating disorder education and training and experience to help you really understand what's legit unstigmatized, research, evidence-based tips, tools, and tricks that are going to help you along in your recovery and in your support. Stigma still exists. I wish it didn't, but the goal of this channel is to help try to eliminate some of that stigma and bring awareness that we can talk about these issues in a safe way. We can talk about these issues in a way that brings support and healing and recovery rather than invalidating you and keeping you stuck feeling like you're a crazy POS. So the Recovery Academy is for you. If you're struggling with an eating disorder, if you're struggling with anxiety, if you have depression, if you have trauma, if you have another mental health condition that I didn't mention, y'all, it's a really big book full of many conditions and issues, right? So I didn't mention all of them here. I don't want to invalidate you and make you not feel included in this. But I'm going to be giving you information to really help you see and know that recovery is possible. You can feel better and that you're not crazy for thinking and feeling the way that you think and feel. It is possible to recover. You can live a life where you feel happy, healthy, successful. Your body is not the problem. It's the way that your brain sees your body, and you can learn to think and feel differently about your body and food. And this is a place where you're going to get unstigmatized, legit, honest, no bullshit tips, tricks, and tools to help you along your recovery journey. So y'all, that's all I've got for you this week. This is really just to understand what we're doing here, why I'm bringing you the Recovery Academy, what the goals are, how this is going to help you along your journey. So comment below. I want to hear from you. I promise that you are not bothering me if you email me or if you comment and ask a question. This channel is for you. So I want to know, where are you stuck? Where are you struggling? What feels hard for you? What questions do you have? The more information you give me, the more information I'm able to give you to help you kick some ass in your recovery. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that button below. That way you stay on top of every single week the videos that I am bringing you. Next week, I'm gonna get really personal in a way that I haven't before, and I'm gonna share my own struggle with anxiety and an eating disorder and how I recovered. But in the meantime, check out the links below. I have lots of videos on this page with lots of information about eating disorders and some mental health issues. But check out the links for my free body confidence e-course. When you get that e-course, you're subscribed to my weekly newsletter, so I'm gonna make sure that you get the videos every week, again, to help you along your recovery journey. Check out the free Facebook group. That is an amazing group full of people challenging and fighting in their recovery. I do lots of information in that group. I do live videos to help you start getting unstuck and feeling better about yourself. So let's connect. So I want to hear from you. That's all I got for today. So I'll see you next week. Bye.